Welcome back to another episode of the Barn Session Podcast. I am here with a special guest, three-time All-American Jacob Cardenas out of Michigan, formerly from Cornell. Jacob, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? I'm
Doing
great.
all right. Can't complain.
Nice.
Hey, so yeah, let's just jump right into it. You recently wrapped up your college career. You were a two-time All-American at Cornell, and you recently took fourth place out of Michigan.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it. Talk to me about your experience.
My college experiences in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, tell me how you're feeling right now. Like, what are your immediate thoughts? Have you processed all of it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I really feel like no like any strong crazy emotions. It's I guess maybe it hasn't really kicked in yet, but yeah, I had a good fun college career. I mean, it was fun wrestling at the national tournament. Placing three times, just being all American, just always fun. And it's not even that, just like I've had a lot of good dual meets. Had a whole bunch of good tournaments. Went to Vegas. Wrestled against Lehigh and then wrestled against Penn State. Like all those good teams. So overall, it
Yeah.
was a pretty fun experience for sure. Better than I thought coming in when I was like 18 as a freshman. So
What were your expectations coming in? You're like, man, this is just going to be a lot of hard practices
yeah, I
and
just thought
not like just a lot of suck, basically.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I thought it would just suck all the time, which like I guess it kind of
Yeah.
did. It did at times, of course, but
Right.
um, I definitely had more fun than I thought. Just like being with my friends. Like, I got really close with the Cornell guys, and then even at Michigan, even though I was only here for a year, like I got really close with the guys here. So met a lot of people on the way. I was able to travel a lot through it as well. So that was a good perk for it.
Yeah. Um, you do you feel like with the experience, what's going to be your biggest takeaway? Is it going to be those experiences of coming up clutch in a duel or making a deep run through a tournament? What's going to stick with you the most?
I think just like the traveling, especially with like your friends too. It's like I don't know, like the
Yeah.
fun like airport memories or just like even when I went to Worlds, like I traveled to Albania and Spain for like wrestling. So like that was just cool. That was fully like funded through like school. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even like
Yeah.
my own expense. So there's just the opportunity. I met a whole bunch of people. I meet people from all around the country and world. So I think just like
Hmm.
how it brings up, brings people together, makes them share memories together, especially like the teammates or even with the coaches. So
Yeah. So
I would say
for you, not necessarily just about the journey, but it's who you're with.
I was gonna say it's like obviously the tournaments are fun and they're all cool, like the dual meets or the big tournaments, but I just think like
Hmm.
the people who were with you made it way better than it would have been if
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, college is wrapped up. What is next for you? Are you going to continue to wrestle? Is it going to be Team USA? Can you wrestle for a different country? What's your next
I
plan?
don't think I can wrestle for a different country. I thought
Okay.
about that, but I think like since I did the U23 in the Worlds, there's
Yeah.
like a transfer fee, or it's more complicated
Something
for me
like that.
since I've already wrestled for USA. So I would definitely continue like pursuing like a world team for USA.
Okay. So you're taking this year off, kind of giving yourself some time to
Kinda,
finish
yeah.
up
I
school
mean,
and.
yeah, I'm gonna graduate, kind of hang out with friends, and then once like the
Mhm.
summer hits, I'm kind of locked in. So
Okay. Are you still U23 eligible? You've been a staple on that team. Okay, I was gonna say you because you went second, third, second there, right? And
yeah,
so yeah,
yeah.
okay, yeah. Well, so what does that look like? Are you gonna stick around with Michigan? Are you gonna train
Yeah,
at their RTC?
I'll stick around in Michigan.
Okay,
I gotta figure out where I'm living actually soon. My lease ends up like a month, so I gotta find a room.
okay,
I'll
yeah,
stick around in Ann Arbor. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, because you got Daringer out there. I mean, obviously all the guys in the college room. Is Amin still wrestling? He is, isn't he?
I don't think so. No, I haven't seen him
You
in a
think he's
while.
done?
Yeah, he's done. I
Okay,
think he's done. He's doing like his own little thing, like on Instagram. Like doing this like entrepreneur
I
little
saw that.
stuff. So it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Well, I don't know. I don't think he's wrestling. He might pop out in the room every once in a while, but
Okay.
I don't think he's wrestling now.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, Olympic medal.
Good. Yeah.
I could rest on that if I got that, so I
I'm
get
sure.
it. Yeah.
I loved wrestling him. Me and him used to get some good scraps, and
Yeah.
he's good. He's really good.
Yeah. Uh, who else would you roll around with? Who were your like ideal or best training partners? The guys that pushed you the most? Did you have any
My training
specific
partner,
dudes, or was it just
I usually wrestle with Hayden Walters. He was our
okay?
we redshirted this year, but he was our 97 like projected, and me and
Hmm.
him wrestled a whole bunch, and he was pretty good. Like me and him, he's like my perfect partner this year, to be honest. And then
Yeah.
like I just wrestled a whole bunch of people. I don't know. I'd wrestle. I mean, Heinzelman I wrestled with. He used to transfer this year,
Yep.
and um, Matt Feinsilver. I used to kick my ass all the time in freestyle. I wrestled Mason
Hmm.
Paris a whole bunch. There's a lot of guys I can name, but like I guess my main partners were like Hayden, Josh, Matt. You know, I wrestled with
Hmm.
Jaden. Jaden was our 84 pounder this year, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I think those guys for sure.
So you reminded me of the question I was going to ask you. Should we just a quick aside? Should we expect to see Mason Paris wrestle at trials?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I did.
Okay.
I haven't been in the room since. I haven't practiced since nationals, so like, I haven't
Yeah.
been in the room. So I
I
have no
get
idea.
taking a little bit of time off. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I would assume so. I guess.
Yeah.
No
I
idea.
was I kind of gauged it off of whether or not he was going to be at the Open, and he wasn't there, and so I was like, okay, I guess
I was
we won't
surprised
see
I
him.
didn't see Gable there. I thought Gable would wrestle.
No, he's set to do a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu event with Craig Jones.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
don't
cool.
I don't know what Gable's doing. I don't know if anybody knows.
Yeah,
So
that's fair. That sounds pretty cool.
yeah. Um, back to you. You spent your time at Cornell, graduated, had a year at Michigan. You had a lot of different experiences in terms of the coaching, because even at Cornell, you went through. The coaching staff was in flux, pretty much year over year. What was important to you for what you got out of your coaches, or that relationship that you had with the guy in the corner.
I I think what was the same my Cornell experience, Michigan experience is like I trusted my coaches a lot. Like I didn't really like question or like talk back on like anything that they like told me to do or anything like even like
Hmm.
even during match like it's not like they would say something and I would kind of ignore it. I'd always like take everything into account and just like even at practice like even if I thought like these drills or like what we were doing was like pretty stupid, like I would just be like, you know what, like these guys are better than I am. So
Okay.
I would just,
Yeah.
I definitely like listened. I was very, I think I'm a very coachable person. So I mean, that's kind of the reasons why I picked the schools. Is like if I believe and I trust in the coaches, like I'm most likely going to be like wrestling for your program. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say put
So,
my faith and trust in them.
all right,
Julian's calling me.
Julian.
Call that guy later.
I'm trying to get him to come down and run a clinic and do an episode with him too. So yeah. Yeah. So with that, in your mind, at least for you, the fit is trust my coaches, trust them inherently. Um, don't think about what they're having me do, just do it.
Yeah, for the most part,
Pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Okay.
I think just not really questioning what they're doing. Like they've like both programs, Cornell and Michigan, have been like successful programs throughout history. So I whatever they whatever their like recipe is, like I believe it. So
Yeah. Okay, so do you feel like you can kind of give some comparisons between your time with the best Ivy League program and a top level Big Ten program? Both of them are very successful, but are there some key differences? Are there pros and cons to either?
yeah, there's definitely differences. I feel like Michigan, um, it was a lot more like drilling and like conditioning. And I wouldn't say
Hmm.
we didn't do that. I wouldn't say we wouldn't do that at Cornell, but I would say like we definitely had more like I'm pretty sure like at Michigan, I didn't really know what our practice was going to look like every day. Like every day, but it was like kind of like it could have been something different. But like at Cornell, I think I remember like Thursdays being like all right, like we're definitely gonna like spar around, like roll,
Yeah.
like get like a power hour. I think is what we called it. Like we would just like get
Hmm.
some sweat in, and then our day before weight cut was a little different. Like we would kind of do our own thing and like get what you need. But Michigan was very like all right, like coach told us what we're gonna do before practice. Like we didn't know like if it was a Thursday practice, we wouldn't know until Thursday right before practice. And like usually
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would just be like a lot of drill. Like we would hit like specific areas. Like I swear I probably done like a snap, go behind, reattack like a billion times this season. Like that was like our main drill. So it's like we knew like
Yeah.
exactly the drills we were gonna do, and it was like the same exact drills pretty much like every day. And like sure, we did have like a couple like technique days, and of course like we didn't drill every single day, but I would say it's
Right.
more fast paced. And I feel like my conditioning, just like not even like a like a cardio conditioning, just literally like conditioning my body on like the techniques and like just like a muscle memory type of thing.
Yeah.
I would say that's like the biggest, at least for me, the biggest takeaway. Just like the schedule too. The Big Ten schedule is kind of like
Not
insane.
fun.
Yeah, not fun.
Yeah.
Dude. I did I
No.
did not expect that at all. Just like Friday, Sunday
It,
duels every weekend for like the 5 weekends in a row. It's just like crazy.
my last year at Indiana, we were on the road at one point for 10 days with 3 away duels, and it was like they were spaced out to where you made weight and you couldn't really get back up because you had to cut back down within the next 2 days. It was they're not fun.
Yeah, no,
It is not a
I cut way more weight this year than I did last year for sure. Just because
yeah.
of the Friday, Sundays.
Hmm. They're not fun. But that is interesting. I because I definitely did recognize that going from Cornell to Indiana, where like Cornell Tuesdays were RTC practices, and they were
Hard.
not fun. And then
Yeah.
Wednesdays it was like sparring. You're probably just going to get with a partner and just know in mind, like have in mind what you want to focus on and
Yeah.
just work on technique.
Mhm.
And then you have your different structured, and it's broken out within a week structure. But then Indiana, it was like, yeah, I mean, we might get a message right before practice that we need our running shoes and we're going to
Yeah,
go
no,
run. So
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Like we at
yeah,
Michigan too, we do like these like sprint workouts. It's actually I was caught off guard by it. We do these sprint workouts like towards like the postseason. I don't know if it might be like a week or two before postseason, but like yeah, maybe like February, mid February, we do these like track workouts at like 6 a.m. And I'm just like what? Like why? Like why are we doing this?
yeah,
That's what I was gonna say before. I kind of just I did it, and they ended
right.
up doing really good for you. They were like very quick workouts. We like sprinted for like 20 minutes, and then did another like 20-minute circuit. It's like basically kind of like our lift for the morning, and then we come
Okay,
back in
yeah,
the afternoon and do drilling. So yeah,
no,
definitely a little different, more like faster pace.
okay, yeah. And so yeah, the Big Ten schedule is definitely a different animal. I feel like that what you explained in terms of I've hit we focused on this drill specifically for so many repetitions throughout the year. That kind of works in line with what you mentioned in terms of I don't really have to think a whole lot about what I'm doing, especially even when I'm in a wrestling match. I've been in this position. I know to snap,
Yeah,
go behind, right? Yeah, that so those work in tandem for you, and that so it
it
makes
gives
sense why
you,
that was a good fit. And yeah,
it just gives you like more confidence. I feel like it's like you don't really gotta like question double take anything. It's kind of like, all right, he
yeah,
shoots, you're snapping, and you're running a leg attack. So I don't
hmm
know. I think it just like builds into your like preparation and your confidence.
yeah, yeah. So you had your various training partners. Did you have like a guy on the coaching staff who was like your go-to guy? You always liked having him in your
Yeah, I
corner, or
mean,
anything like that?
when I first got here, me and KJ, like that was my
Yeah.
first, I guess, like coach before like the season
Hmm.
started. So me and KJ just did like a whole bunch of one-on-ones during the summer because I was taking summer classes last year too for like my master's. So I had
Yeah.
class from like I don't even know. I think like noon to like 5 or 6. It was like a big block. So me and KJ would go
Hmm.
up in the morning. I would grab somebody, and then we would do drills and technique or some live. And yeah, Coach KJ coached me like individually until Worlds, and then once Worlds hit, like I took a week off, I think, and then went back to the practice. And Sean, Josh, Debo, like they all coached me. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess the most coaching I've gotten was through KJ. I did a lot of one on
Okay.
one with KJ, so he's the man. He's really good. Really
Yeah.
good coach.
Okay. So walk me through this last season for you. You had a great start, won the CKLV, winning all your duels. You take a loss to Josh Barr, and then you get into the postseason and you win Big Tens, right? And so tell me how that process was for you, or that experience leading up to NCAs, and then what NCAs was like for you this year.
I mean, yeah, nothing really. I wouldn't say anything like changed differently. Yeah, I had a good regular season. I guess took a loss, Penn State, kind of brushed that off.
Yeah.
I forgot who we had next after that, but like, yeah, it kind of felt like a while. Honestly, it felt like I wrestled Penn State, and then Big Ten's kind of like went, kind of came just like that, you know. So
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Ten's kind of just like, I don't know, not to like downplay it or anything, but to me it was like, I guess it was fun. Like I got a cool little belt, and like I was on TV. You
Yeah.
know, it was. I understand like it was a pretty big tournament, but I don't know. To me, it kind of just felt like I just won. I just won a couple matches. You know, and it, like yeah, I wouldn't say it was like a huge thing for me. Um,
Yeah.
I'm trying to put the right words into it. I'm not trying to like downplay it, but like yeah, I don't know. Like it was a cool experience, but I just had to. It was just like I had like 4 more matches that weekend, just like any other thing. And like same thing with NCAA's. It's
Yeah.
just like I guess maybe NCAA is a little different because the environment kind of like matches are just different at NCAAs. Like everyone can agree to that. So,
Yeah.
but same thing. I would say like my preparation like all season has just been like the same. I didn't change it up for like Big Tens or I didn't change it up for nationals. I kind of just you know got my weight down, made sure I felt good, make sure I was putting the right things in my body. Post weigh in, um, stuff like that. So I wouldn't say
Yeah.
I changed a lot. It was a fun year though. Like looking back on it, like I did win Big Tens. That was cool. I got a cool little belt. I got some revenge
Hmm.
at Big Tens, beat the number one guy, and then nationals. Made it to the semis. So it was a pretty fun
Yeah.
year. I think.
I think that that mindset, how you frame things out in terms of it's just another set of matches for the weekend. I do think that kind of helps you stay level headed. You don't get flustered. Plus, you I think for some people, if say you go from wrestling a SoCon schedule to a Big Ten schedule, that's going to be a little bit of a jarring change, right? But like EIWH for you was beard and stout, and it wasn't easy.
That's true.
So
Totally true.
having that change from already tough to maybe a little bit tougher, not earth shattering.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I think I didn't think about it like too deeply. I think it was just like, all right, like I have Bar, I gotta beat him. Like I gotta get my lick back, and then Buchanan in
mhm.
the finals. I was like, bro, like this is perfect. If I beat him, I'll be number one. So like I don't know. I didn't. I
Yeah.
guess yeah. I didn't really think too much of it. I think I just kind of went out there and just obviously tried to win. So
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you're coming off as this guy who's like able to kind of take wrestling or take an approach on wrestling that's just very, everything is very okay. It's not super.
yeah,
You're not letting your emotions get too high. You're not letting anything get out of hand.
yeah.
What was your biggest challenge collegiate during your collegiate career, and like what helped you overcome that?
I guess kind of that. Like I think when I was younger, I would like get too caught up in the moment, or I would like
Hmm.
get too anxious and too stressed, and like I think it's just already stressful enough, because like it's just bound to happen. Like everyone like gets like a little like nervous, or at least I think so. I think you're
Yeah.
supposed to, you know what I mean? Everyone's supposed to like feel a little like tension or like um I guess like anxiety. I guess I wouldn't say anxiety, but you're supposed to feel something, and I think just like making it harder than it already is, because wrestling's already a hard ass sport, bro. Like like a lot of people, like mentally, physically,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that,
Absolutely.
like you kind of treat it like any other sport. Like you wouldn't go to like people get nervous before a baseball game or a basketball game, but like once they're playing, it's kind of just fun. You know what I mean? They kind of forget about it when they're in their flow state. So I think
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess the more I mature, the more I realize it's just like, all right, dude, like whatever. Like, yeah, I got to wrestle this guy, but like, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's not win or lose. It's not the end of the world. Like, nothing's really going to change that much. Depending on whether you win or lose, you kind of wake up the next day. I had class that next morning. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
nothing was going to
Right.
change outside of wrestling. So like, it's just very small compared to like the grand scheme of things. And yeah, I would say I like before my matches, I'm pretty like you feel the tension, but like I'm pretty locked in and pretty calm. Like I'm not really shaken up
Hmm.
much. Like I guess when I used to be when I was younger, like freshman sophomore year. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think this is probably a good time to kind of to pull it back and look at your start in wrestling and just say like how did you get started in the sport, and what was your experience? When did you like, let's just start with how'd you get started?
Yeah, I started when I was like in second grade. Me and my buddy, we were watching. I think it's a pretty common thing, but me and my buddy were watching WWE on like a Friday or something, and I was just like, "Yo,
Yeah,
Dad, sign me up. Like, I want to join." And then
yeah,
I didn't really like it the first couple of years, or just like the first couple times I went to practice. I was just like, "This is like kind of lame. Like it's not what I thought it
yeah,
was." And then I don't know. I kind of just stuck with it. I've always been like pretty good at it. And my dad, sorry, my dad always pushed me to do it too. He's like, "Hey man, if you started it, you can't really quit now." So you know, every
yeah,
year I always joined, and I always kind of hated it once it got to like the tougher part of the season. And then, you know, I was also just a kid, man. My dad would always make me. I was a pretty big kid too. My dad would make me wrestle like I don't know. I was in sixth grade, like 140 pounds, 150, I think. So like I would always wrestle like freaking eighth graders or like high schoolers. So I'd always get my butt
yeah,
kicked. So that's why I kind of sucked. But then, I think my sophomore year of high school, it's my freshman, sophomore year of high school, that's when I started to get like good. Like that's when I started getting like ranked in the country by Flow. And then
mm-hmm.
by the end of my senior year, I think I was number one in the country. And then once Cornell recruited me, I kind of just like Cornell's been my dream school like since I was a kid. I used to go to their camps all the time. So when Cornell recruited me, I basically just like stopped all like recruiting process and kind of just committed right away. And
Yeah,
then that's pretty much how I got to college. And then once I got to college, I just I think I got way better in college than I was in high school. So
yeah. So yeah, what moment along that path, right? Because I mean, you start off and you're like I'm going to be a WWE superstar, but you realize wrestling is a little different, right? So like
yeah.
what part, along that process did you like fall in love with the sport, basically?
I would say like I knew I was like gonna commit to it like when I got to high school. Like once I went to like a private high school to wrestle, like I
Yeah,
went to private high school, Queen of Peace. Do you remember? Do you know Queen of Peace? It was kind of like,
yeah,
do you
yeah.
remember? Yeah, like me and Enrique were on the team together, and
That's who I was thinking of. Yeah,
me and Enrique were on the team together. And like once I like went to private school instead of like my local public school to wrestle, I was like, all right, like this is kind of like, yeah, I'm doing this for a reason. Like my parents are gonna be like paying tuition for me to like be good at
right.
wrestling, go to college. So like that's when I started like getting like dedicated to it. That's when I started like going to a lot of tournaments. I went to all like the national open tournaments in the summer, or at least most of them. And then I trained like I trained all the time in high school. Like I just as everyone did, like anybody at D1 was like locked in and ready to go. That was their goal to go D1. So I mean, yeah, I ended up just like being pretty good. The more I think like the more I got older, or just the more like as I went through my college career, the better I got. So, and then once I got to college,
Right.
once I got to my freshman year, like Gabe did like crazy things to us practice wise, and like got us like really good, got us really tough. So
Yeah.
once I like broke that wall, once I was wrestling with like Max and Gabe, and I was like kind of beating them up a little bit, as like a freshman, I was like, all right,
Hmm.
like, that I guess that was kind of like my breakthrough. And then yeah, I guess my sophomore year, All American. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's kind of the way I remembered it at least.
Right. Yeah. It is. I mean, I think I remember the first time I remember seeing you was I think you came up for Cornell and you were wrestling around with Barry Essa, uh, and then and then the next time I think like I heard okay he committed, like good get for Cornell, and then I saw you wrestling Wyatt Hendrickson in the Super 32 finals.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, and then
I
so
tell
I
people that
saw that and huh.
I tell people that like when he like especially after he won national, I was like, yo, you know that guy? Like I beat that guy in high school.
Dude, I can tell people the same thing, and it's my favorite thing to do.
Wait, who was it?
Wyatt.
Oh, you beat Wyatt before?
Yeah, he's from Kansas. I wrestled him when I was a junior and he was a freshman. He was still 160 pounds. Like he was still a little guy.
Dude, I was beating him like 9-0 in the first period. I ended up winning the match like 9-8. Like I just
Yeah,
I
he's
got gassed and
yes. He does that to people. He did not like he did his freshman year he didn't qualify for state, and then the next year he's in the state finals.
yeah,
Like
no, that's
he this was him, his
yeah,
his trajectory. So
yeah, he's really really good. But it's
yeah,
funny with he's huge now, bro. I don't even know how much he weighs, but like when I see him,
dude.
I love Wyatt. But every time I see him, it's always like a funny, happy time. And
Yeah, he's
guy, bro,
yeah.
I can't believe we were the same weight at one point. Crazy.
All right. Uh you've wrestled a lot of great guys, and I mean I do want to know like who did you look up to, you know, as you were growing up? Like, were there any big names that you were like, I want to wrestle like this guy, or I like watching
Yeah,
this guy
I mean,
wrestle?
I guess growing up, I always watched a lot of like Jordan Burroughs. I watched a lot. I watched a lot of. I watched a lot of like college Kyle Dake. I didn't really watch him. I wasn't really a big fan. Not a big fan, but I didn't watch a lot of like freestyle Dake until like I was at Cornell and like, when I was training with him. And
Mm-hmm.
watched a lot of JB. I watched a lot of Nashawn Garrett. I guess that was in high school. You know, I watched a lot of Nashawn Garrett. I watched Gabe Dean a lot. I liked Yanni a lot. Yanni was like one of my favorite guys before I got to Cornell. Trying to think who else. I guess there's a whole bunch of people, but those are my main guys for sure. And then once I got to Cornell, like I was just around a whole bunch of like great people. Like Dean, Gabe, the Deans were there. Yanni, even like kids in my class, like freaking Foka and Julian, like those guys. Like my freshman year, like they were just way better than I was, and like I had to catch up, you know. So like I would always like look up to them, and I would wrestle them a whole bunch. So I would say
Yeah,
maybe kind of like Cornell catered. A couple like I like Delgado. Delgado was good. David Taylor, of course, everyone watched. So I like Cody Brewer.
yeah,
That's a sleeper. A lot of people don't really know about Cody Brewer, but I was a big
yeah,
Cody Brewer
yeah.
fan. That was Cade Brock. I watched a lot of. Cade Brock was nasty. Um, yeah, I guess that those are the guys I kind of looked up to the most. I guess.
I get the you said Jordan Burroughs and Nashawn Garrett. I'm like, you've modeled. You know, I mean, your double leg is
Yeah, that's
pretty dang good. So
where
like,
I get it
I
from, man.
get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Um.
athletic build, strong and fast. You know.
Yeah, I do not want to be on the receiving end of one
Yeah,
of those. Those don't look fun. So, uh, we're gonna take. I'm gonna take a second here. I'm gonna send you a link.
you're good.
I want you to check this out. Okay. Go to this. Go to this website. Have you ever played Wordle before?
Uh, wait, did you email it to me?
I texted it. Go to the chat in this little Zencast thing.
Oh, in this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Game.com.
Yeah.
Oh, is this like guess a wrestler? No way. Is this like college shit?
Yes. So this is all 330 NCAA wrestlers from this year's.
Fire. So I gotta guess first and last name.
Yeah, but so you can type out like if I type out Tyler, I can see Tyler Ferrara, Tyler Wells. And what happens is you guess and then you get a little feedback.
Yeah,
So
no,
it'll tell you, yeah,
and it's different.
yeah,
It's different every day.
different every day, different every day.
This is good. This is dope. I like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. Let me go. I don't want to go. Man. I'll go.
Today's is not an easy one. I'll say that.
I was not. I was gonna put Jesse Mendez. I guess. Let me go. Let me go somewhere crazy. Let me go like. Nah, I'm not gonna go Cornell. I don't know. Let me try like. He just won. Luke Standard. So he didn't wrestle this year.
No, I didn't wrestle this year.
Luke Stout. I'll go Luke Stout. Fuck it. Uh, so what? So yellow means I'm like close.
Yeah. So if you guess a weight and it's yellow and it's pointing down, and it's like the next weight class below, basically,
So
is
if
the
I get
wrestler.
round of 16 means down. That means like round
He
of.
was a national qualifier instead of,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, yeah.
So he placed top 32. Damn. Okay, I got the conference wrong. Everything. Okay, let's try. You said Brock. Let me try like Brock Hardy. Oh, he is 141. Okay, not the Big Ten
There you
though.
go. Yeah.
He's below junior. Damn, Brock Hardy winning percentage is 87. That's pretty good. Probably maybe like this past year. So he finished. Yeah, damn, round of 32, 141 pounder. Who's that guy from Navy? Was it?
Coder Hamp?
Yeah, Coder Is he a 41 pounder or is he 49?
He's a 41 pounder, but he finished on the podium.
Oh, he All American this year?
Yeah.
Frick, dude, I don't know. Who's 141? I don't even 141 round of 32. Like I have no idea.
Yeah. What if it's a guy who isn't on the podium or close to it, it's going to be kind of tough.
Hard, yeah.
Um,
What about Evan Frost? The Frost brothers? Who's
Jacob Frost was 141. And he placed.
oh shit, okay, so I got the year. Sophomore is right. He's a sophomore, 141, not in the Big 12 either. Like, what the frick, dude?
What other conferences are you thinking?
I guess like maybe Pack. Who's like their Stanford 141? Was that Valencia? No. Who was their 141?
I think it was Jason Miranda.
Let me try. Okay, so it's in the ACC. 141 ACC. Oh, he didn't. This guy didn't even qualify.
No, he qualified.
It says NQ. Does that
Is
mean
it
that?
green?
Yeah,
That's NQ is national qualifier.
that makes sense. I'm dumb. Um, National qualifier ACC 141. There's only so many ACC teams. Um, I don't know it. Like, who's Virginia Tech's 141? Latona? Oh, it might be
Yeah,
Latona.
I believe that was Latona.
I'm dumb because it has to be a sophomore, and he's a senior. Yeah, Latona
So you
didn't.
got
Yeah, actually, I remember that.
Latona, Miranda. Cedeno beat Latona, but I think Cedeno's older than a sophomore.
He was older than a sophomore.
What, Jaden Scott for UNC, right?
Okay, so very, very close. I have, I guess I have two more guesses. So it's not North Carolina. It's not. Oh, what about NC State? Who's the 141 pounder this year?
Was it Coy Biskins, right?
You know all these guys. I need to. I should. I need to be up to date. What's his name? Cade or Kale?
Coy.
I spell Coy. No, I don't think so.
Koy.
Oh, Coy Biscuit. Nope, he's a freshman and he's 149. Oh,
Oh.
yes. All right.
What about Pittsburgh?
Who was at 41?
I think his name was Briar Priest, right?
Briar Priest. I'm just gonna guess. Hey, I won. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is fun. I'm gonna do
So
it today.
it's fun. It can be kind of tough if it's a guy who
Yeah, I have no
did
idea.
not right.
This guy's on my
Um.
fifth year, so I definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Let's stay off like your competition and your training and all that, and let's talk about like what were it was great to take away the friendships that you had from your college experience, but like what experiences, what memories do you have that you are going to kind of stick with you? Like did you spend summer in Ithaca? Was that something that you did?
I do that every year. Yeah, at least for the most part.
Yeah,
I had an internship one summer in New York, so I went back home and like worked in the city for one summer. But yeah, for the most part, I stood in Ithaca for the summer. Did like a side job there, and then practice, and then in Ann Arbor, I stood here for the summer too.
yeah. So like what's that experience? Just being able to not have to worry about school and just spending
Yeah,
college being a kid.
I thought, yeah, I think summer's in Ithaca too. Like I was just all my homies were there too. Like the entire team was over in Ithaca, so we'd go to the gorges, we'd go cliff jumping, we'd go hiking, we'd go freaking driving to Syracuse for basketball game, or not basketball games, but like I don't know, just like anything. It was just like
Yeah.
kind of like a side quest summer, pretty much, just like always. And it's, like, it's always nice to just to focus on like wrestling. At the time, maybe you're just like, oh, I don't want to go today, but like when you look back at it, it's just like those are the times that you kind of never forget. So I would say I didn't mind. I never really liked going home for the summer. Even when I worked in the city, like going home is just like I don't know. You're kind of in the house all day, or just like you don't really. I guess you're not really close to your friends that much. So I always enjoyed like staying in Ithaca for the summer. Um, like even during COVID, like like the day we were allowed to go back from COVID, like I was in Ithaca, like the day after. So I mean, I always liked
Yeah.
my homies, being like in a college town setting. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's I always encourage people, like any of the guys at Cornell, like, hey, I get it. Like, during the college year, you're around this town where it's just snow and cold and wet all the time. But when the summers happen, it's a great experience. So just
So
stick around at least once.
yeah,
At
you need
least
a
once.
summer. You need one summer in Ithaca. That's what I always tell everybody. Hopefully, people
Yeah.
do it. It's a nice little vibe.
Yeah.
A little indie.
So, uh, what do you, is there anything that you want to do? Let's say you wrestle for the next cycle, you wrestle 2028, maybe even wrestle all the way up to 2032. But then you're done with that. Do you just want to stick around in the sport and coach? Do you want to, do you have a job in mind, like or a career field?
Nah, I don't. Not really. I mean, I've always like said like I don't really like coaching. Like not I've never really coached before, obviously, but like I don't know. I feel like coaching isn't really in my areas of like expertise. It's like I
It's
don't
not your
know.
wheelhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. Like a lot of people like that. You know what I mean? Like Yanni and like Julian, like they want to be coaches when like they're done
Yeah.
wrestling. And like I'm not sure what I want to do. I just know that like I like wrestling now, and like if I were to quit, like I feel like I thought about just not even wrestling after this year. Like after the NCAA tournament, kind of just like go home and kind of start like my own career somewhere else, another field. But like I'm also just like I'm still young. Like I still really enjoy doing it, and like I'm fairly pretty good at it relative to other people. So like I think you know right now I definitely just want to win like world and Olympic medals for sure. I want to win a couple world titles, and then when the Olympics are in the United States this year, so that's like perfect. Like if you
Yeah.
win the
Yeah.
Olympics in your home country, like that's that's something else. Like that's just like these. I'm just like smiling thinking about it. Like that's just like something you don't really get to
Yes.
an opportunity, very slim, chance of that opportunity happening again. So right now, I'm not really sure what I want to do. Maybe I'll go 32. I definitely want to stay for 2028. So not really
Yeah.
sure. Not really looking past that. Honestly, just kind of focus on. I'm actually just focused on next year. I got to win worlds next year, win a couple world titles before the Olympics, and
Yeah.
I think I'll be in pretty good seat.
Yeah, I would, personally, I would encourage anybody who's healthy and enjoys the sport to compete for as long as they are able to, because there will be a day when you are done competing and you will look back and wish you had done more. So
Is that right? Yeah.
yeah. Um. Well, so what is going to be so coaching is not your thing and you're only going to compete for so long. So what career are you going to be diving into?
I don't know. Like I have a business degree. I just got my master's in business here at Michigan. I studied urban planning, real estate, like business. I took a couple of business classes at Cornell, and like my internship was in like banking. I did a banking internship in finance, but like I don't know. I didn't really like. I don't think anybody really enjoys finance, man. Honestly, like, like I mean,
Yeah.
you
No.
do, like you do in like some ways, but it's also just like a very like rigorous, like hard, fast paced like environment to like work in. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do. Maybe something similar to that. Maybe something similar to like business or finance. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely something like corporate. I feel like I'm more of like a corporate guy than like a entrepreneur, like start my own thing. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, it kind of matches your style in terms of like I don't want to have to think about what's the best thing, just put me in front of something and have me do it,
Yeah,
like in
kind of.
terms of your code.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can be pretty good at anything like I put my mind to. So that's kind
Right.
of like lets
Yeah.
me be coachable. It's like if I know what I'm doing, I know what my role is. Like I'll be pretty good at it. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Exactly.
like exactly what I would land in. Like I know a couple of my buddies are in real estate. A couple of my buddies, the networking is just like really great at both schools I was at. So I can
Right.
pick from a lot of people. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. I'm gonna throw off some quick questions here. What was your playlist while you're warming up this year?
That's funny. Let me see. I had a couple minds. I had a couple songs in mind. At Nationals, it was heavy on. Let me see. Where is it at? No, this is Barbados. Nationals. I was listening to two songs on repeat. It was Big Tens. It was "Show Me Love." You know this song, "Show Me Love." It's like you got to
I don't
show
think so.
me love.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all Big Tens. Uh, and then once Nationals came around, it was kind of like house music ish. It was fuck, where is it? Maybe I'm just making it. Maybe I didn't have it like on my recents. I listened to Soul Survivor. Foca put me onto that song, and I was listening to this song called Kisses. It's just like it's another like
Okay.
house kind of song. It's like a techno house
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like to
Just
listen to music like before my matches. Like I will, but once I'm like maybe like in the hole or like a couple out from in the hole, like I'll take them off and I'll just like start pacing. It's usually just like headphones while I'm just like laying down taking a nap. I'll press like shuffle. But the two songs that were on
okay, yeah.
repeat were like Soul Survivor. I wish I could find it. It was this song. I don't know if you know this one. You know, it's like an Akon song.
Akon and Young Jeezy.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's like
That's good throwback music.
that's
That's
like a good song.
quality.
I was listening to that all weekend. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I heard like Foco warming up to it, and I was like, bro, what is that song? Like, I didn't even know that song until I just heard it. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I'm not a big music guy. At least like closer to my matches, I like just press kind of shuffle on whatever. While I'm like taking a nap, or, like post weigh in, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's. I'm more of like a house guy, house music before my
Yeah.
matches, if anything.
Yeah, house music is good, especially for the gym. Like that's something I'll put on just
I
to
like cut weight
keep
too,
the
bro.
energy high.
When I was cutting weight, it was just straight like house, like party, like dance music, like.
Yeah, because you're
Going.
not feeling good as it is, so you got to have something else lifting you up.
I
I
know
get
you
it.
gotta go get a little something, a little pick me up or something, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of cutting weight, what was your go to like first thing right after weigh-ins? Or like obviously you're gonna have water, but like
Yeah.
what's your guilty pleasure?
Um. What did I? Oh, I would have. I guess it depends, but like usually, I think I had like a peanut butter and jelly. I'd have a peanut butter and jelly right after weigh-ins. Like definitely on the road. Like at home, we had a little different. Like at home, we'd have like, we were at home, so we can like bring our. I can bring my own food or whatever. But on the road or at like nationals or Big Tens, it was slam some electrolytes first, and then um, if I could before weigh-ins, like if I was like cutting weight the morning of, like I would have like a banana before the weigh-ins, a banana like a yogurt, just put something in me. And then peanut butter and jelly. And once the peanut butter and jelly is done, my favorite thing ever was the yogurt bowl this year. So like my first time really like doing it. This yogurt bowl basically just put like Greek yogurt in a bowl with like a whole bunch of fruit, whole bunch of granola, and like a shit ton of honey. And that would take me
No.
like it was a huge bowl. It was like maybe like a pound worth of food. Like just like all fruit, all like these like simple carbs, and like it was just like a dessert bowl pretty much. It was like an acai
All
bowl.
right.
And then once I finished that, I'd maybe have like oh, we did like soup this year. This is actually kind of a this was different for me this year too. They had like Michigan has like Campbell's soup. We have a little like portable like I guess like heater, like a pot, and like what it helps at least for me, what it helped doing was like how sometimes you get bloated after weigh-ins or just like your stomach is like
Yeah.
so small that when you eat it like it hurts. I think the
Yeah.
soup, just like anything hot in general, like helps like expand your stomach a little bit, kind of like settles it in a little bit, and just like Campbell's
Okay.
soup is pretty good too. So I wouldn't do too much. I would only have like I don't know a couple ounces of it, like in a little bowl. But that was pretty much my post weigh-in was like peanut butter and jelly, some bananas, yogurt bowl with some fruit and granola and honey, and then if I was like feeling pretty bloated, or maybe I'll take a couple sips of like the soup, and that would be pretty much
Yeah.
my
Something simple. Nothing
yeah.
too crazy. I gotcha.
And then post,
All right. Uh,
you hit me.
I was going to steal this question from Mike Mal because he asks his guys this question whenever he interviews them. If you had a magic wand and you could wave and change one thing about the sport of wrestling, like what would it be? It could be literally anything. It could be one rule. It could be I don't want this person to be in the sport. It could be
Uh,
whatever you want it to be.
I don't know. I wouldn't say like. I guess I'll give two answers. I feel like what I would change about wrestling is just having it like more like exposed, like just like a bigger like fan base to like reach
More
out. Like, it's
popular.
like yeah, you know what I mean. It's like for instance, like the draft the other day, like the NFL draft, like everyone's watching that. But, like no one's really watching
Yeah.
the NCAA tournament like that. You know what I mean? Like oh my god, or like I don't know. Oh, transfer portal. This person went this way, and it's like huge breaking news. And like sure, it is breaking news in like the wrestling community, but like
Yeah.
I guess like I don't know. It's like and like this is how it is. Like I don't really like necessarily think it's a bad thing, but like I feel like let's say like all right, who's number one pound for pound right now? Is that like Carter Starachi? It's like the
Sure.
difference between like Carter Starachi's exposure versus Cam Ward, who just went number one of the draft pick. It's like that guy
Yeah.
is like no disrespect. That's just kind of like how the sport of wrestling is. Like that guy is like
Yeah.
everybody knows who Cam Ward is, but like you ask a random person on the street who Carter Starachi is, and like they probably won't know. And it's like crazy because like if anything, like I think Carter Starachi is probably a better athlete than Cam Ward is. You know, it's like
100%.
he's like
Yes.
he's literally a killing machine. But like that, and not that it's important or anything. It's like in the grand scheme of things, like followers or just like exposure, like popularity doesn't really matter in our sport. But it's just like something cool to think about. You know what I mean? Like, or like if wrestling had like a pro league, like if I were to like went first round, I was like the 20th pick first round. Like that's like a huge deal in football. In wrestling, it's just like that doesn't exist. So I guess it's like I guess I've always wished wrestling was like a bigger sport than it really is because it deserves it, man. Like no one gets it. No one gets our struggle, bro. But like it's
yeah.
If I were to change one thing about wrestling, I definitely want it to be like more popular, more like at least in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you have two things, or was that it?
I guess that's something you can't really like. That's not like about the sport. Like you can't really, because if we had the answer on like how to make wrestling popular, we would have done it already. That's just like a hopeful thing. And I guess like in wrestling, I don't know. I think the stalling rule is kind of dumb. At least like I don't think the stalling rule is dumb. I think the way it's called is kind of stupid, especially like this year. It's like I don't know. It's like just because like you squeeze somebody and you push them out of bounds. Like it's like you need like good discretion for it. I feel like you can't just like call it because like all right, the person went out of bounds and he didn't circle as hard as he should have. It's like you have to understand when someone's actually stalling and when someone's like actually like trying to work. Because if you're trying to work but like someone pushes you out, it's like that's why there's out of bounds. You know what I mean? If anything, like in freestyle, it's a point. You know what I mean? If anything, you want to make it a point, like make it a point so people know not to go out of bounds. But it's like I don't know, especially like if someone's on a leg and you're on the circle, it's like, bro, I'm going to go out of bounds. Like if I'm not going to try and stay in bounds with this guy on my leg, and I don't think that's stalling. You know what I mean? I think that's just like high IQ mat awareness. It's like I'm on the edge and he has my foot. There's 30 seconds left. Like I'm going to try and run. You know what I mean? Like the same thing you would like if you were in the center of the mat. Like if someone had my leg in the center of the mat, I'm trying to like kick away and like, I'm trying to kick away, get them off my leg. But like if we just happen to if we happen to be in the end of this mat and like I kick away and now it's stalling, it's like, it's just like, it's not really treated the same just because I'm on the edge or vice versa. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like stalling is it's just weird. I feel like refs don't really understand like what it really means, how it should be called.
No, that refs get pressure from the fans and the coaches to call it a certain way, and then they have this rule book and they have to kind of lean on both, and it's not a good situation. I
definitely like
totally get it.
Like you're telling me like you didn't hit a stall call on match, but now the last 30 seconds you want to call stalling. It's like just because there's 30 seconds left doesn't mean it's stalling.
Yeah, right.
Some people do stall the last 30 seconds, but
definitely. All right. We've reached pretty much the end of our time. Do you have anything that you can plug right now? I don't know if you have like a shoe deal or if you're running camps or clinics or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm looking to book some clinics this summer. I got a couple. I just posted on my Instagram the other day. So yeah, honestly, anywhere on the East Coast, Midwest. I'll go West Coast. Like I would love to travel. So anybody looking to do camps, I'm willing to open. I'm more than happy to work with someone to get something through. So that's pretty much it.
If you're still listening, hit up Cardenas for some quality camps and clinics.
My Instagram, Jacob X Cardenas, or my number. My number is my Instagram as well. So whatever.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, people, for listening. Hope you have a good one.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Yep.